holy shit, he is on point being the victim here. Jesus Christ. At this point, it's just like, how can someone do this? How can someone be perpetually a victim for so long? God. So hello, and welcome back to another anti-Onision video. I know that I'm late on this video because it's just that I was taking notes and it took too long, and so yeah, that's it. Today I have something really interesting. I'm going to be talking about Onision's official statement, quote unquote, that he released on his Twitter. And it's really interesting. Actually, I'm going to do something interesting in this video. I'm going to count down how many times he uses the victim narrative and how many times, he frames himself as a victim. At least that's what he implies. He might not literally write, I am a victim, but, with text, it's implied, and we understand that. I was debating doing this because I thought that it wasn't a good idea. Now that I think about it, it's true, it's not a good idea. It's a great idea. I should definitely do this. So you guys can see how many times he talks about himself and he views himself as a victim. That's going to be really interesting. Okay, I'm going to be talking about in this video specifically about black and white thinking, because Onision is famous for black and white thinking. And I'm going to tie that into his narrative that he keeps pushing, that he is the victim. And black and white thinking helps in that narrative because, it's like either it's black or it's white, either it's good or it's bad, either you're a victim or you're an abuser. And that's how that narrative ties into black and white thinking. Also, there's something important to note here, that this is not for us. And I know this because he says it himself. Yes, I'm not trying to win you over because I don't care if you like me. So it's not for us. It doesn't have any rational arguments because there are none. But it is important to note that it wasn't meant to have any. It wasn't meant to have any rational arguments. This isn't for people like me who have legitimate concerns about Onision and Onision's behavior. Then the question is, who is this for? I believe that, and it's okay if you disagree with me, but I believe that it is for the remaining people who might still be in Onision's bubble and might be on the fence and might be thinking that, hey, maybe, just maybe, the other side has some points, It could be the case, right? It is for people who are in Onision's bubble and who have doubts. The thing is that there are still people who are in Onision's bubble. Onision's popularity has severely declined. That's true. But he still has people who follow him, who support him. And that's scary. And I believe that this is for them. It is to manipulate them. I'm gonna have to start using like a fake word for that M word. Anyways, let's jump into this official statement. Internet is full of morons. Morons who will believe anything that they want if it suits them and their narrative. You know that this is a fact if you take 5 seconds to look at politics. Democrats are obsessed with hating on Republican leaders, and Republicans are obsessed with hating on Democratic leaders, despite the fact that all of these people are probably mostly decent and just have different opinions. Now for internet culture. Your friends don't like someone, a lot of times that bandwagons to you, and you wind up being an asshole just like them, blindly hating, never looking at the facts. So dumb, motherfuckers. Yes, I'm not trying to win you over because I don't care if you like me. You are all still in high school. This internet drama, outrage culture, and cancel culture is absolutely ridiculous. Oh yes. Onision is just a victim of cancel culture and outrage culture. Hey, editing me, could you just thank you. One of the main questions that Onision have to answer to people who still support him is, why exactly is Onision being hated? And here you see the answers, right? The internet is full of morons, and just like when your friends don't like someone, you also end up being an asshole just like them, blindly hating. That's the reason why he's being hated. Why exactly is he being hated? It's the internet drama and the cancel culture. And all of it is part of the narrative that he's a victim. You think it's okay to draw conclusions on people when you were not there. You don't know the full story, and that's why I look at people like you like you're effing retarded. Here's the thing, here's an important contradiction. So when he says, you don't know the full story, what is the implication there? At least in my head, the implication is that you don't know the full story. It wasn't all like bad and good, you don't know the nuance. The implication is that he's thinking in gray areas, and it's not all black and white, right? At least I think so, okay? And here's a big contradiction. He always thinks in black and white. In literally the next to next paragraph, he says, every hater I've encountered in a live debate who has addressed this issue has admitted live in front of me that they know damn well that I'm not a pedo. Why? Because you effing idiot, you need an actual kid in the picture to be a pedo. Did he not even remotely consider this fact? This accusation of him being a pedo comes from the fact that Onision rated underage fans of his. And the thing is that during that time, a lot of people said that he might not be a literal pedo, but what he's doing is really creepy,
It's enough to say that what he's doing is inappropriate. Whether or not he's getting some kind of weird sexual thing out of it doesn't really matter. It's still inappropriate to post photos of young girls not wearing very much clothes and saying that you think that they're attractive.
The argument that Jacqueline Glynn was making was a lot more nuanced. It wasn't that what he was doing was illegal or violates the terms and conditions of YouTube. It wasn't that. It was that it doesn't need to be illegal. He might not be a literal pedo, but what he was doing was really creepy. Here, he's just thinking in black and white that he's not a pedo, so that's okay, that's good. But he fails to consider the nuance, and he fails to see that it might be creepy to rate underage fans. All he thinks of is either he's a pedo or he's not. Okay, moving on. I have been bombarded with messages saying pedo and predator and every other horseshit accusation on MAP for years now. It always comes from dumbasses I have kicked out of my life, saying one thing and people turning it into another. Okay, he's playing the victim card again. For instance, a long time ago, Shane Dawson said he thought a 7 to 9-year-old was sexy, but later said he was joking. If people called him a pedo for that, yeah, it's a kid. But was he joking? Maybe. Point is that you have an actual situation where Shane Dawson straight up called a kid that. Okay, so this is just straight whataboutism. Moving on. Now, do you have Onision calling anyone that anywhere? No, you don't. Closest thing you have to that is people saying Onision rated underage fans. This is based on absolute horseshit. No, this is literal facts. Also, one of the big contradictions is that he says that he's all truthful and honest and full of facts and shit, but no, he's not. Anyways, we can go over that in some other video. If you actually watch the video, you'll find... What? If you actually watch the videos, you find out that... What? If you actually watch the videos, you'll find out that... Okay. You'll find out that the forum being ran was 18 plus. Haters don't seem to admit this because they are lying tabloid scum. Okay, again, black and white thinking. If it says 18 plus, right, so it must be okay, right? No, there's a lot more nuance than that, especially considering the power imbalance, considering that they are his fans, and considering that, he refused to remove a video in which there was an underage fan who said that they wanted the picture removed off of his video. But he didn't do that. That is the nuance that Onision cannot, think of. It is not just that he cannot think in gray areas. It is that he thinks in black and white, because of his narrative that says that he's a victim. Because he thinks in black and white, it is easier for him to frame himself as a victim of hate when he's not. Anyone in the videos who was not 18 because they were either unaware or lied to be there. Additionally, YouTube has had no problem with said videos because unlike Shane Dawson's joke, maybe it was a joke, not the point. Oh god. Anyways, no actual kids were hit or otherwise spoken horribly about. Yet, of course, Onision is not Shane Dawson. I actually don't have to do gross things to be called horrible names. Victim card. Again, he might not have technically broken terms of service. Jacqueline Glynn says that, he explicitly might not have broken terms of service. That doesn't mean that it's not creepy and weird at all. It's this anger. Oh my god. This anger also serves as narrative, by the way. And yes, I'm going to talk about that. An interesting question might be, why does he use profanity? So much profanity while referring to people who might have legitimate concerns, If you look at it through the narrative that Onision's pushing, then Onision is the victim. Therefore, he has a right to be this angry because he is the victim of hatred. So he can be this angry and he can use all the profanity he wants because he is the victim of hatred. So when there are people who, like me, don't see him as a victim, this narrative being pushed over and over and over and over again just makes us angrier. And God forbid if someone ever expresses that anger, Onision can just turn around and say that, look, I was right, they are just haters. And there is a really good video that illustrates this pretty well.
Yes, I'm calling you a dumb fuck because I'm having to say the same thing over and over to you.
Oh man, I'm here to try and make things easier for the both of you. And
Well,
you want to throw some shit at me.
You're a hater that was picked by another hater to be an impartial party, a moderator, which is a fucking con job.
I'm too scared.
Okay,
all right.
On alone.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't really have a moderator on YouTube, I guess. So I'm gonna have this little fucking idiot come over here who's made hate about me in the past, or Onision in the past, and that'll be fine. That'll be totally fair.
I've been trying to be nice to you, Greg.
Get
I've been
that
trying to be nice to you.
bitch's ass over here so I can rip her open.
I've been trying to be nice to you, man. But I mean, if you're gonna be fucking,
you're being fake, Rod.
Look,
this is real. The way I'm talking to you is fucking real, and you're being a fake piece of shit who's not showing who the real.
I'm being a piece of shit. Look, dude, I'm not the person who gets underage fucking girls and talks about whether or not they give him a fucking boner. You're a fucking sleazy scumbag.
There you go.
You're this pathetic rosacea-ridden little fucking dickhead who has put a bunch of fucking makeup on.
Onision was accusing Jeff of everything. And it wasn't just the 30 seconds that you saw. It was literally like minutes of him accusing Jeff of horrible shit. And the second that Jeff broke under pressure, like any normal human being, Onision became calm. And Onision can then turn around and say that Jeff is just a hater when, Jeff might be trying to put his personal biases aside in that debate. Also, framing people who have legitimate concerns as just haters, what does that accomplish? What does that do practically? It sends a message to the people who are in Onision's bubble, who are on the fence that, hey, they are just the haters. And in Onision's whole narrative, he's the victim. And they are the haters. They are the ones that are the bad guys. And now you don't want to be one of them now, do you? That's what it does. So you see, all of this is super complicated and hard to dissect, and yeah, I'm getting exhausted over here. But also, Onision is a really interesting case study to study. So yeah, anyways, but I think that video, it shows Onision's character really, really well. Anyways, moving on. On to the ridiculous accusations coming from dumbasses I kicked out of my life. This can all be summed up by one statement. I did not want to F you, I rejected you, and now you're mad. trying to demonize me so you can make sense of me not wanting to F you. Trying to demonize you, huh? Victim card. Again. It gets even better, guys. Literally, most all of us have gone through this. Some dumbass is a total creep, lies to us, straight up commits crimes. One idiot literally committed to selling drugs illegally. Look, I think he's talking about Billy here. There's a big difference between cocaine and weed, Again, this is another example of him not thinking in gray areas. It's him thinking in black and white. Why exactly is he thinking in black and white? It serves his narrative, Look, this person was literally a criminal. That serves his narrative. Moving on. Or cheats on us and they go around telling everyone right after we dump them / never want to see their piece of shit ass again that we did something horrible. Yes, again, he's the victim. Listen, you dumb cunts. If someone did something horrible, you likely would have dumped them. It's always these rejected ass mother effers who go around talking shit. Just admit someone didn't want to be with you and move on with your life. God forbid I did not want to F you. So you punish me. How sick is that? Again, victim card. This whole statement is just him playing the victim. Moving on. Fact is that if I never dumped these people as friends or otherwise, they'd still be with me. Why? Because 9 out of 10, when there was a breakup, I was dumping them. Reality check. That's why I've been married for so long. Meanwhile, these people haven't heard a single successful relationship they have been in. Why? Because most of them are underage. I was joking, but I can't take this anymore. Why? Because most of them were dumped for a very good reason. Okay, this next part is absolute genius, okay? It sums up Onision so well. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Ex-wife. Extremely greedy, used me for my money, lied to me about love in the first place, wound up trying to get $250,000 out of me when I left her. In other words, I was right about her the whole time. Yeah, he was the victim. Again, he's the victim. Do you get it? He's the victim. By the way, she got that money through alimony. And she got that money because she helped you with your fucking job. So, yeah, I think that she deserved it. And, unlike you, who's ranting about it on the internet, like how many years from now? Like, how many years has it been? 10 years? Over 10 years? I don't know. Unlike you, who's ranting about it years later, guess what? She actually went to the court and got alimony. So, Canadian ex literally cheated on me and got pregnant with another dude's baby. At one point, threatened to kill herself and, quote, make it look like you did it. Called the cops on her. They advised me to run away from her while she was taken away so she couldn't F up my life anymore. That's right, the cops took her away and you guys side with this chick who literally cheated on me / got pregnant with another dude's baby. Seriously? By the way, I have made a whole video on Shiloh's story alone, so you can check that out. Again, here, he's the victim, right? He's always the victim. Virginia next. Repeatedly broke the law, lied to me, publicly admitted to being a liar, and cheated on someone I love more than anyone. Got dumped by me as with the others, and what? Oh yeah, she must be right because when people get dumped, it means the people who dumped them is at fault. Right, internet? Again, he's the victim, right? Again, repeatedly broke the law. What does he mean by that? Did weed, just because someone broke the law, that doesn't mean that they are immoral. There's a big difference between doing weed and doing hard drugs. So, yeah, again, he thinks in black and white so that he can frame himself as a victim. I know I'm repeating this 15th time now. Other exes / ex-friends. Same story, different people. I don't accept liars in my life who are unapologetic about it. People who are obsessed with thinking they are right. Now, people who are obsessed with thinking they are right now, man. Oh, people who are obsessed with thinking they are right no matter how many laws they break, no matter how many people they hurt, and selfish things like cheating, they do. Holy shit, he is on point being the victim here. Jesus Christ. At this point, it's just like, how can someone do this? How can someone be perpetually a victim for so long? God. In other words, and long story short, I am not what people say I am. I was not the person dumped for lying. In fact, the Virginian ex came back repeatedly even after I made videos about her, and every time she had zero complaints about what I said in the videos because I always told the truth. Yeah, right, you're not the person people say that you are. And there are no facts that justify it whatsoever. Yeah, right. Every single one of those exes, every single one of them, every single ex that you had, every single ex-friend that he had, every single one of them was wrong. Every single one of them. And he's the one who's right. Yeah, right. The internet is wrong about him. His exes, all of his exes are wrong about him. All of his ex-friends are dead wrong about him. Every single one of those people is wrong. Literally, the world is crazy before he is. God, he lives in so much denial. I said it in an earlier video that, one of the things that I talk about is his continued repeated behavior that doesn't change over time, right? And the thing is that he doesn't see any of those examples that I could bring up. He doesn't see that they are problematic at all. All of his exes are wrong. Every single one of them, Shiloh, Billy, Sarah, every one of them is wrong. And the whole internet is wrong. Repsion is wrong. Jacqueline Glynn is wrong. Every single one of those people are wrong. And it's Onision who's right. He's living in denial. Like the behavior that Repsion sees, that Jacqueline Glynn sees, that all of his exes see, that now the internet sees, he doesn't see as problematic. Literally, the world is crazy before he is. I can't imagine living in that much now. God damn. Anyways, I guess I'll finish this with the last paragraph that Onision wrote. Also, final note, the tabloid channels, people who gave up on making good content and settle for talking shit, that's quite a hypocritical statement coming from someone who got famous off of a song called I'm a Banana. All seem to center on the idea that some kind of illegal shit ever happened. Even people I kicked out have claimed illegal stuff may have happened. Yet, these same people straight up admitted to committing felonies and lied to you about actually going somewhere to get justice. Okay, I don't know about any other channels, but like for me and this channel, I talk about Onision's behavior, and because first of all, it's interesting, right? I think that Onision is a great case study to study. I think that there's a lot to learn, Again, he says committing felonies. I don't need to say it. Okay, so I don't know how many times he used the victim narrative. Okay, I'm gonna guess that it's a lot. Why? Why did I do this countdown? Just to make fun of Onision? Yeah, it is to make fun of Onision, but it's also to point out this one important thing. The way that Onision might have a grasp on people who still are in Onision's bubble is through repetition. He doesn't need rational arguments. All he needs to do is to repeat this narrative that he's a victim and he's always been the victim and he's a victim. What makes it effective, what makes the narrative effective, is not that it is rational or it has coherent arguments behind it, but that it's repeated again and again and again and again. If you look at Onision's Twitter, you'll see it. You'll see it always that he's a victim and he's using that narrative again and again. And that's how manipulation works. Kind of like one of the best things you can do to be productive is to create good habits, right? Things that you do repeatedly. It's also the same way like manipulation works, It's through repetition. It's through repetition of the same narrative that he's a victim. That narrative is effective because it's repeated so much. And if someone is in a abusive relationship with a person like that, what happens is, you hear it and you hear it and you hear it and you hear the same narrative again and again and again and again, and you start to think, it does make sense, right? Because human beings are quite malleable creatures, and it's just how we are. And a manipulative person takes advantage of that through isolating the person, the victim, and repeating the same narrative again and again. That's how manipulation works. Okay, I think I'm done. Jesus Christ. It's so hot in here. Oh my god. I'm recording under a blanket, by the way. Yeah, this is the highest audio quality my channel will ever reach. Anyways, I've been recording for like an hour under this blanket, and I'm done. Comment your thoughts down below if you agree with something, if you disagree with something. Subscribe for more Onision related content. I talk about Onision and Onision's manipulation quite often on this channel now. I guess that's my thing. That's my calling. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye.